In addition to my Surly long haul trucker bike, which I've been riding most frequently, I have one other bike that I bought quite a few years ago, and I thought I'd profile that in this video today. It's the Miyata Six-Ten Touring Bike from 1984, I believe it was. So here's my 1984 Miyata Six-Ten Touring Bike. It's closing in on 40 years old, hard to believe. I still remember getting this in Toronto and being so excited. And you can probably read here where I bought it. Peddler Cycles, that was in Toronto. They're no longer there as far as I know. It's faster and more springy feeling than the Surly long haul trucker. The frame is a Miyata Industries chromium molybdenum double butted tubed frame. A nice high quality Japanese steel frame. Made in Japan. It was a mid-range price bike. I believe I paid $500 or so Canadian for it, which to me at the time was a lot of money. I've had a lot of fun out of it over these years. You can see here, nice lugged frame. This bike has a Sugino GT triple crank and a Suntour Mountech derailleur system. This bike has a 5-gear cassette in the back, and with the triple crank that would make 15 speeds. Of course, many bikes today have more speeds available than that, but this provided a good range and probably a full range of all you would need for touring. And of course, for a touring bike, you have the standard rim brakes, which is what you want on a touring bike. These are easily adjusted, easily repaired. Brakes are by Diacomp. I'm just showing the Suntour downshifters on the down bar here, which was common for many bikes in those days. Today, touring bikes would typically have bar end shifters that would go on the end of the bars here. Or some have even progressed to STI shifters on top, but bar ends are probably preferred by most long distance tours for their reliability and ease of repair if needed. And in the tradition of many touring bikes, I ended up putting a Brooks saddle on this, which is the nice leather saddle from the English company Brooks. This tends to get softer with age, making it good for long day rides in the saddle. So I got these large rat trap pedals put on shortly after I bought the bike. I wanted something with a nice wide foot plant, and you can see the edges are corrugated to enable better connection with the sole of the shoe, whatever you're riding. Very nice wide pedal that makes you feel very secure. One thing I'm not sure what to think about is that there is some rust on various parts of the frame. I think this is probably superficial stuff, but I would need to get that checked out a little more thoroughly by people in the know before I start riding this in any big way again. I haven't been riding it much over the last 2 years. This bike has only ever been in our garage outside, so it does get exposed to the cold temperatures of winter and the moisture in the air and stuff, but it's never been left outside in rain or snow. It's never been ridden in the snow or ice conditions with salt on the road. It's never had that, so for those reasons I'm hoping this is just maybe superficial stuff and could be simply repaired or painted. I'd like to keep this bike in working order if I could. You can see here the bracket for the down tube shifters has rusted. There's little bits of rust showing down at the bottom bracket here. And at a few places on the frame. You can just see these little rust marks, hoping they're not serious. Being the vintage that it is, it has 27-inch wheels. I was really thinking of trying to convert it to 700C wheels so I could more easily get tires for the bike, because as you may know, 27 by 1 and whatever tires are getting harder to find because all the new bikes are coming out with either 700 or 26 by whatever or 29 or whatever, but not many no bikes are being brought out with 27-inch wheels anymore, so the tires are getting increasingly difficult to find. I just don't know if I put a smaller wheel size on whether these brakes can be adjusted to fit them, because right now they're set on a peg here at a certain height, but possibly you could get different brakes that would be adjustable to go up and down a bit. I did broach that with one bike shop, and I don't think the fellow was too optimistic, but I think I've read online that that you could do that with different brakes or different attachment mechanisms for the brakes. Anyhow, just thought I'd profile this old bike from the era of the mid-80s. It was a nice old bike. SR Road Champion handlebars. Diacomp brakes. So these brakes are Diacomp here. Nice old steel framed bicycle. Again, as I mentioned, it's a speedier bike than my Surly long haul trucker. The frame geometry is a little bit different. The frame itself is lighter and thinner and springier, maybe giving it a bit more zip when you ride it. It seems to anyhow, and that's even with these knobby tires on it. So if I put some good smooth road tires, I could even go faster on it, I'm sure. But anyhow, there it is, the Miyata 610 from 1984.